2 million years ago, a gene mutation MYH16 was introduced into the human population. According to the article, Laws of Gene Function and Evolution of Human Phenotypes, the MYH16 gene encodes a sarcomeric mesosine heavy chain, which is a major component of muscles. This gene mutation indirectly lead us to love for refined food today. And I will tell you how refined food enters and occupies modern people's diet and endangers human health. I hope that after listening this speech, maybe some of you will minimize or avoid the intake of refined food. I will review the harm of refined food and the reasons behind it to you, and finally provide you a solution. First, I will analyze how the seemingly beneficial skill processing is slowly killing humans. Do you know what highly processed food is? Most of our famous food are included in unhealthy, highly processed foods. The most common refined food should be white flour and rice. In the process of removing bran through refined processing, the fiber, vitamins contained in whole bran are also removed. In this process, the health ingredients originally contained in the food are destroyed and no longer belong to natural plant food. Moreover, the beautiful and delicious food we eat, such as cake, biscuits, snacks, and ham sausage, are also refined processed food. This food often adds some pigments and seasoning for appearance and taste. They will have a bad impact on our body. According to a study, ultra-processed food are formulations of many ingredients, several of exclusive industrial use, that result from the sequence of physical and chemical processes applied to the food and their constituents. Even more frightening, another large study revealed that a higher concentration of ultra-processed food was independently associated with a 62% relatively increased hazard for the cause. For each additional serving of ultra-processed food, all costs increased by 18%. And we also learned how to enrich the variety and the taste through processing. Fine processing can make food have a sulfur taste and prolong the best eating period. The best consumption period of refined food is longer. And according to a study, the U.S. mean adjusted intake the added sugars remains high. In 2011 to 2012, children and adults consumed 326 cacao per day and 308 cacao per day of added sugar, or 14% and 17% respectively of total their energy. Today, most of carbohydrates consumed by Americans come from the refined food. Cereals are refined to such an extent that they have to artificially add mineral and vitamins to ensure the nutrition. There are 3 kinds of vegetables often eaten in the United States. The first is potatoes used for French fries and chips. The second is cacao, but it is one of the vegetables with the lowest nutrient density. Third, tomato sauce. Americans usually add tomato sauce only when they eat pizza or pasta. These are all highly processed food. These refined and processed food often contain excessive oxidized and unhealthy fat that can be processed, destroyed their own metabolic capacity, especially food that are pickled, processed, and stored for too long, which will cause damage and many system problems inside food. Therefore, to keep healthy, we must avoid eating too much refined processed food. However, have you ever thought about why humans choose to eat refined food? Only because they are more delicious? I will introduce why humans invented cooking to process food. I would like to ask all of you, who has ever tasted pet food out of curiosity? Please raise your hand. I learned that an anthropologist named Richard Warren tried to keep the same eating habit as chimpanzees. He discovered that he had never been sicker in his entire life because he also noted too that he always felt hungry all the time. This proves that the human digestive. He discovered that he had never been sicker in his entire life. He also noted too that he felt hungry all the time. This proves that the people's digestive system has not allowed humans to eat raw grass or other raw food that is easy to get directly from nature. In other words, it will be much more difficult for human beings to get food to live than the other animals. However, the difference between us from the course of evolution has led to a large brain for humans. Our intelligence has enabled us to conquer the world. The secret for the big brains, says by a biological anthropologist, is cooking, which made digestion easier and help us to gain more calories. In the economically developed United States, people actually eat refined, simple carbohydrates rather than healthy, coarse grains. A finished hamburger from a shop is less moldy than those made from the natural materials at home. According to the article, How Does Mold Grow on Food? Mold needs 4 things in order to grow: water, food, suitable air quality, and temperature. In addition, mold can only grow if it has food available to feed itself and grow. The question is, if the nutrients of the food, if a food are too low to be irradiated by harmful substances, what benefits will they do to the human body? In fact, food with high nutritional values are more likely to go bad than food with low nutritional values. So, how to avoid or reduce the intake of refined food? First of all, we should learn how to distinguish this food. Have you ever had the experience of choosing between a row of food from different brands in supermarkets? Considering the nutrient density in food is a way to help make informed food choices. Next, I will show you how to choose food correctly and the principle behind it. First, a good way to tell whether a food is healthy or not is whether it's made by people or by large companies. The reason for this is those companies may use more salt, fat, and sugar, which are bad nutrients for our health. Because their business mood is to process as much as possible with cheap ingredients and then make them more attractive with salt, fat, and sugar. They often have low nutritional density of food, which can be understood as the total nutritional value including vitamins, minerals, and so on, divided by the total calories and total energy of food. For example, a bottle of soda water can provide high energy, but it has little nutritional value. On the contrary, fresh spinach is a nutrient-intensive food which has relatively high nutritional value and less calories. When people say that fast food is cheaper than fresh food, they actually mean that fast food per calorie is cheaper than fresh and complete food. But if we change our reference and look at the price per nutrient density unit, it will be more cost effective for us to buy food with low calorie and high nutritional value. For example, when you want to eat cereal, please think more about the whole pressing of raw grains rather than instant. When you want to eat nuts, please think more about the original flavor, freshly peeled, instead of spicy or other flavors. When you want to eat fruit and vegetables, please think about fresh and natural rather than the fried one. One study found that consumers tend to read only the first 5 components of the nutrition facts label. To identify nutrient-dense food, we need to be sure to read further down the label to the other beneficial nutrients such as calcium, potassium, and fiber. In the age of obesity, it is very important for us to avoid eating food with only calorie but no nutrition. I hope everyone can start to try to choose simple processed food, eliminate the impact of complex seasoning, and establish a good natural relationship between the body and the food. Food is a friend who helps each of us live a better life. That's it. Thank you.